Oh, yeah.
That was a good opening.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's smoky.
Well, I'm refreshed. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Talkies, wherein we shall be discussing Christopher Robin.
Whoa. But today is our 50th episode.
Ah.
Our 50th, you say?
50.
Wow. Like 15?
15th episode.
15. It's not that.
15th.
It's a huge milestone. I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank my parents.
5-0.
5-0.
50.
1-5.
It's quite a bit of difference there.
You're right. Today is our 50th.
Our 50th decade.
Episode of The Talkies. It's not a huge milestone, but
It's the biggest thing we've ever done.
It's our biggest milestone to date. So no balloons or cake just yet, but
we've made one short film.
Well, it sucked. So
That was the best short film ever. What are you talking about?
You're
Anyway.
derailing this
Sorry,
episode.
my bad.
You're
My bad.
off kilter.
I like
50th episode.
Sorry, I like Stakeout. It was pretty good.
Yeah, we saw some Christopher Robin.
Anyway, happy 50th episode of The Talkies. Thanks for making it so special, dear viewers. Now, on to covering the movie, which was Christopher Robin from Walt Disney Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Where to begin?
We haven't even really discussed this yet, so I'm curious.
We haven't had any.
Yeah.
We didn't. We left the theater. We did not talk about it at all.
Yeah.
So
I didn't like it.
you didn't like it?
Ooh.
I liked it.
Okay, wait, did you actually not like it?
Well, what about you?
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. I thought it was...
Yeah, I'm somewhere around
Well, where
there.
I would put it is it's... Remember how we talked about, in a way, whether or not a movie is good can have more to do with what your expectations is than its actual qualities?
Right.
And this perfectly matched my expectations. It didn't exceed it, but it was exactly what I expected it to be, and I mostly enjoyed it.
This movie wasn't how I thought it was going to be because of the way it was marketed, at least to my eyes. I think it was a perfect kids movie.
It's a good kids movie.
Great.
Good family movie.
Yeah.
Great kids movie. I didn't enjoy it too much because I'm not a kid, so...
There's a lot that I did enjoy about it. I'm not a huge Winnie the Pooh fan in the sense that I didn't like grow up like watching a ton of
Did
it.
you say you're not a huge?
I like it, but I didn't watch a lot of
It
it.
just sounded like you said I'm a huge Winnie the Pooh fan. I just wasn't sure.
I didn't watch a lot of it, so I'm not like super familiar with it. But I like the characters. Like I like Winnie the Pooh. I like Tigger and Eeyore and Piglet.
Yeah.
And seeing them like interacting with like London and stuff and like coming out into the world, that was
neat.
fun for me.
It was really funny to me, and again, quite predictable, that when Christopher Robin and his pals of yore ventured off to London together. Well, I guess first it was Christopher Robin, and then they followed, that they left Rabbit and Owl behind.
Yeah.
Because Rabbit and Owl are the non-merchandised members of the Winnie the Pooh team. For whatever reason, no one
cares
has
about Rabbit
ever
or Owl.
clinged to Rabbit or Owl.
Is that their names?
Yeah.
So
No one buys an owl shirt or a rabbit shirt, but there are people who are crazy for Piglet, crazy for Tigger, crazy for Eeyore,
Yeah.
and crazy for Winnie the Pooh.
But not
Same
Roo.
with Roo and Kanga. They're kind of... Those are like the lesser members of the 100 Acre Woods. Even though Roo got his own movie once.
What the?
wow.
Yeah, but it was still had a lot more to do with Tigger than... It was Roo's movie, but it was like Roo becoming best buds with Tigger.
The Tigger movie starring Roo. Is that what it was?
More or less.
That's funny.
I think where this movie goes wrong for me is basically the plot is very like you've seen it a zillion times.
It's so generic.
Yeah, really
Yep.
generic.
The main criticisms that I've seen for this film, I feel are spot on, which is that they delivered on everything they promised to deliver, but they took no risks.
Absolutely no
This
risks.
movie was
Yeah.
just played very safe.
Paint by numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, paint by numbers.
And if you're going into a theater looking for some sort of, heartwarming family time, I think it has all the right pieces of the recipe to do that. I thought as a family man who juggles the pressures of providing for them with the pressures of being present for them, I thought they nailed that rather stressful and challenging dichotomy really well in the way they depicted him as not being a villain for siding with work in the face of his family needing him, because there's like, that's a real thing that happens all the time where it's like your family's like, we need you, and you're like,
told 1,000 times.
I'll be fired.
Yeah.
I have to. Yeah, but many times when it's told, they make the father look like just like a dick for choosing to go to work.
And I kind of like that, though, when people do that. And the reason why is because they have a clear bad guy. And I understand that, in the real world, there is no, bad guy when you're doing work. That work shouldn't be treated like that. But it seems like whenever it's treated like that in the movies, that it should be one way or the other, because it is a movie. And in this sense, like most other generic plots that have this kind of plot, the job, him being with the job is the bad guy, and then it ends up being the good guy in the end. And I didn't, that thematic clash does not work for me.
Yeah, I felt the same thing, where it's like the whole time it's like, oh, he's gotta do his work, he's gotta get back to work, or else he's gonna be fired, and not only is he gonna be fired, but his whole company is gonna go under. So he's responsible for saving the company, and his family life is being tested and is kind of buckling under some of the pressure of being neglected, and that's fine. That's a cool, like, it's, again, like we said, it's been done a quadzillion times,
right?
But then I was kind of like feeling like he should have let his company go under rather than, like, at the end he gets to have his cake and eat it too.
See, but I actually felt the opposite, because I've seen that movie so many times where it's like, oh, I'm neglecting my family because of my work, and then I have some experience that reminds me why my family's important, and so screw work and responsibility, and they throw it out the window. I mean, that's like the end of Mary Poppins.
Right.
It always filled me with this weird sense of stress at the end when Mr. Banks quits the bank
when
and goes off to fly the kite, and I'm like, that's cool, but
what are you doing to buy groceries next week?
He's unemployed.
Right.
They own a mansion. They have they have butlers.
Well, see, but that's the problem, though, is that, like you said, the cake and eat it too thing, is like they did make it out to be the bad guy, and the clear resolution to all of this is to him to not be at the job anymore. That was the solution that was presented. I
thought that was what was the too predictable solution.
No,
so I was really glad that he found a way to stay with the company.
It might have been more predictable. I think it would have been more thematically pleasant. The way,
I don't think so.
The way he comes back to the job, just, it feels so disingenuous.
It felt stupid. The whole turning the triangle upside down and being, look, it's so obvious.
Right.
His solution was ludicrous. Well, I'm like, the numbers don't match here. You're going to give everyone paid vacation so they could buy suitcases from you.
Right.
The numbers don't work.
Well, so that being the solution to his whole conflict of job versus family, he didn't get the balance at the end. He was just like, oh, looks like I returned to work. But before I give it my genius,
I felt like there should have been sacrifice at some point.
At some point.
Well, that's what I mean. The movie risked nothing.
Yeah, and that's a flaw. Yeah.
The only sense of disappointment that I had in this movie had nothing to do with the movie itself. Like I said, if I had gone in only with the information I had in my head from the trailers and just what it looked like to me, it matched perfectly in my mind. And so I walked away saying, it was what it was, and I can see lots of people enjoying that film for what it is, and it certainly will make lots of people happy. There's a full row of kids next to us that were very, very happy at this film. I had more fun listening to them than I did from the movie, to be quite honest. But where I did feel a little disappointment was this morning I put it together that the guy directing this movie, whose name is hold Mark Forster. Mark Forster is the director of Finding Neverland, which has some thematic parallels to this movie.
Yeah.
And the intersecting of a fictional world with a real world, with a non-fictional world. In Finding Neverland, that being the Peter Pan, and the creator of Peter Pan, and sort of his creation was intermingled with their actual story, and that story was complex and was daring and did have some heavy material on the table, including death and things like that.
Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping we'd see something a little bit more along that lines, but like I said, Disney played this very safe.
Disney plays it all.
But this is their baby, Winnie the Pooh is one of those properties that they are not going to do anything risky with.
Yeah, totally.
They're not going to necessarily go for a home run. It's like the safe double.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Going into it, I felt like it was marketed more towards adults. This is why actually I liked it so much as a kids movie, right? Because it had such a soft color palette, right? Everything was very earth tone.
I loved the visuals of the whole film, actually.
The cinematography was what I want to call 2012 film student. And then the acting was all, kind of lower. It wasn't like super, super high like Peter Rabbit. Like it wasn't like Peter Rabbit high. It was just like, kind of cool. So everything felt very meshed and felt very real. And I really enjoyed that. The aesthetic of the movie was super cool, especially the animation, or the texture at least, not the animation, but.
Yeah, the
CGI,
the characters themselves had
really
a realism to them that was very close to being disturbing.
Yeah.
Like it almost looked creepy.
When they had the close-ups of like their skin and everything, where it was just like
you see the seams
and everything, like that looked so gorgeous. Like it looked like it was real.
Well, and their integration into the world itself was just so seamless.
Yeah. Their animation is still a little weird every now and then because animation still isn't perfect, but it was still awesome.
I loved when honey is on Winnie the Pooh, and you can see it affect the fur in a very realistic
in so many
manner.
Cartoons, kids movies, and even like normal movies.
Yeah,
you have you have some set piece that was there for like a joke, but as soon as we move beyond that joke, its consequences are gone.
Yeah.
Well, like how many times in how many movies would Winnie the Pooh have had honey on his face? And then as soon as he turns to open the door, it's gone. It's just gone.
But they did do that here.
Oh, there were times they did, but there were also times where they very clearly left it longer than you would have thought.
Right. I did like the honey footsteps across the wood floor and everything.
Or just seeing it make his fur matte together.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Kind of cool.
But then they cut to the next scene and he's all clean without explanation.
So here's I'd say let's kind of shelve the conversation on the story. I think we can all agree it's pretty.
It's Disney.
Yeah, it's just super basic.
Which is 6, 7 out of 10 Disney.
But it's not even Disney at peak Disney.
No,
it's just was there.
It's safe.
It was safe. But so let's move beyond that. I think a more interesting topic to talk about is the world building here. I would not have guessed from the trailer that this was going to be a movie in which Winnie the Pooh and his friends are actually real and exist in a parallel world and can come into our world and mingle with the real people here. And this is not about a child's imagination.
Right.
Yeah.
They are real.
Yeah. I love the idea
that surprised me.
That magic just exists in this world.
Yeah. See, I really thought, even though they hinted at it in a trailer, there were times you saw people going did that bear just smile at me?
Right.
Right? Like that could all still be kind of polished away as into, they're catching glimpses of the imagination or something like that. I still never anticipated that everyone would be able to see these animals moving if they let you.
I liked it also that Winnie the Pooh especially was always he was always talking and he would never shut up. So like when he's walking around, he's like saying hi to random people. Like,
Yeah.
like I love that. He's
Yeah.
like, let's play nap time, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, and that was actually a perfect depiction of Winnie the Pooh's character if he were real.
Right.
Like that's exactly what he would be like if
Right.
he were real.
That's
And
so
I
good.
loved that. And also like Tigger would just screw things up.
Yeah.
Like big time. Like
Yeah.
he's that hyper kid that we've all met before. We're just like, no, shut him up. Too late.
Yeah.
Spoils every surprise party.
Yeah, I really love that they just made it real. I thought that was cool. Because then I made for that one scene where they do crash the taxi
Yeah.
cab, and then the cop runs over, and the newspaper salesman's there, and they're like talking about it, like, "Oh, you're crazy. There's this little girl and her stuffed animals. You want me to arrest her? That's crazy." And then they run off, and then they see that they are real, and they're like kind of looking at each other like dumbfounded. And then the taxi driver's like, "See, I know that face. I made that same face. You saw them."
And that I did appreciate, because while we have seen this movie, this concept 100 times, right, where someone revisits the old childhood imagination, whatever it is, an imaginary friend from when they were kids, their
Right.
old toys from when they were kids, and it reminds them of who they used to be. Seen that many, many times. But for his imaginary world to actually be real is new. I'm not sure that I have seen that
Yeah,
before.
that was really cool. I did like that.
I thought it was kind of weird that at the end when he's confronting the boss and giving the solution and they're all there,
Yeah.
that they weren't playing nap time or whatever, but they
No.
were just being still, but
Yeah.
nobody
It was
quite
like-
notices.
It was the writing was touch and go, but especially we've already talked about the story, but some of the dialogue, especially written for the 100 Acre Woods gang, was very, very good.
Yeah,
I thought very funny.
yeah,
Winnie the Pooh is filled with wisdom nonsense, like nonsense wisdom that
Yeah.
you just don't hear from anywhere else.
They-
It's really
I
good.
love that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
They like got Winnie the Pooh's dialogue perfect
Yeah.
throughout
Or
every
the-
situation,
Or like little jokes like
and then Eeyore too.
when they were all in those trunks in the back of that truck and are bouncing around,
Yeah,
and Tigger says something about like, should we really be trusting Madeline? And then Piglet says, "Well, she is Wimbledon champion." Because she was playing that she was champion at Wimbledon
that's
with
funny.
tennis.
Yeah. See, yeah,
funny.
yeah. That they like the Bears are so, or I keep saying the Bears, but like
The toys.
the toys or
yeah.
whatever. They're so like
They
naive.
live in the imagination
Right.
Yeah,
of
and
a child.
and they take everything that anyone says so sincerely.
As valid.
It's
Yeah.
like it's so.
Yeah. He's gonna
awesome.
be eaten by a woozle.
Yeah.
For breakfast.
Right, yeah, that's like their motivation. Like the whole like almost last half of the movie is their driving force is so that Christopher Robin doesn't get eaten alive
Right.
for breakfast. They
For
think
breakfast.
they
For
think he's gonna
breakfast.
get eaten alive. It's hilarious.
We have to get these papers to him.
or else he's gonna be eaten
for breakfast.
for
Yeah.
breakfast.
They this probably has to do with Disney and their whole playing it safe thing, but a lot of times you'll stick with one character and their voice right throughout the whole film, and this was mostly Christopher Robin's voice, at least in the first act of the movie, which happened to be the first half of the movie also, which is weird. But it was all Christopher Robin until he went into the other world, and then it cuts to his wife, or when he was in war also, in the very, very beginning.
I forgot about that.
And we go to his wife. It's like we're third person omniscient, but just when we need to be.
Yeah.
just a little bit. So like we can't really get to his character.
Yeah,
Just go
the
back to this one.
pacing of the whole movie was really weird too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, the sort of 3-act structure was like very lopsided.
It was very weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until what the second act
When
didn't
he
start.
was still walking around the 100 Acre Woods,
Yeah.
like it felt like we were in another movie now,
Right.
And he was never going to come back.
So
Yeah.
when
You know?
when Winnie the Pooh went to the real world, that was when that was like the inciting incident almost.
Yeah.
Right? And that wasn't until halfway into the movie.
That was pretty far, and it felt like when Christopher Robin was in 100 Acre Woods searching for the other toys, like that was like the story. It's
Right.
like, what happened to these people, and how are we gonna find them? It's like a mystery.
And he just goes back.
Yeah, then he just finds them, and then it's like, oh, now what is it? Oh,
No,
now you
right.
gotta save him.
Right.
Yeah, so it keeps like
It was like Toy Story 1 and 2 smashed into one movie.
not like there wasn't one solid through line besides the extremely generic work family conflict.
Right.
It was kind of all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked how tone deaf Ewan McGregor was as a dad
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
Like sitting down and reading the history book and being
Yeah.
like, yeah, I will read to you.
Yeah.
Of course I will, you know? Like he believes he's being the best parent he can be.
Yeah.
And he's just missing the mark.
I thought his character was actually written pretty well.
I really liked him. And I really do like the idea of like growing old and then trying to connect with like old
Your child.
friends
Yeah.
and like your childhood.
Yeah, I do like that.
I like that
Yeah.
sentiment.
And it should be
theme.
said, even though this is a very cliche story, most of the times I've seen it done, I've liked it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
it's just a story I like going back to.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm
I think
kinda in
there's
the
certain
same camp with
tropes,
that.
there's certain archetypes that we keep telling over and over again because
we like them.
them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this is definitely one. I felt like his daughter wasn't written so well. I felt like her motivations were super weak sometimes.
Well, they didn't give us. It's because they didn't give us enough.
Well,
right.
like
So at the end, she talked about how her motivation was not wanting to go to boarding school.
yeah.
But like they just kind of pulled it out of nowhere.
Well, right. Well, that's the problem, right? It's like so she was raised without her dad for the first, I guess, 3
Seeming
years.
so.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he's in
Right.
war.
Well, he's at war, and then she grows older with him, and I guess gets super attached because we now see her as like really wanting to be in his company all the time. Don't know why that happens, but say that happens. And then she knows work more than play, I guess, because she takes after her dad. So like when her mom says, go play outside, and she's like, I'm gonna be the best player there ever was.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, have fun. She's like, oh, I guess I could do that too, right?
Yeah.
Like she's supposed to be very work oriented, and then there's times where the dad says, well, she likes work, but then when he says that, he realizes maybe she doesn't, but she does because that's her character.
That's what she's been known.
But then she also doesn't want to go to boarding school for some odd reason, even though she does like work.
I
See-
never believed that she did like work. It just felt like she was trying to
But
impress
they
her father.
but they have a character here that is supposed to be like her dad, where she overworks herself also.
I never caught on to that at all.
Well, then what was the whole point of her saying, I'm going to be the best that there ever was at playing?
I didn't see. It didn't sound that way to me at all. It sounded.
But that's what
like,
she said, though.
It sounded like go outside and play, and she was like, "Yes, I want to go do what you're saying, and I'm going to go do it."
And then her-
To me,
and-
that wasn't a character building
but
line
then-
at all.
but then her mom
that
said-
was just something kids say.
But then her mom said, and
Yeah.
have fun too. And she said, oh yeah, I guess I could do that.
Yeah.
Nor did I think
I
she's
caught on with
particularly
that.
needy of her father. That was like a very
She-
normal level of excitement for dad being home.
For someone to be home, that's fine. But like I said, when I feel like if she was real character, and you would know this more than I do, I'm sure. But I feel like if she was real and was raised without her dad for the first 3 years of her life, I feel like she would only grow more distant, especially since during the whole raising process, we see him choosing work instead of family several times over and over. They're very much hammering that theme home. And so she would grow away from her father. And I feel like Disney is like, father and daughters have a very, close-knit relationship no matter what. So, I feel like that's what Disney was saying. And I'm like, that's not always true,
Yeah, well,
especially in these circumstances.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that line about her being the best at playing, also.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought as well. I was like, oh, she's like, it's a competition to be the best player.
Right.
And then her mom is like, oh wait, remember, that's not the point. The point is to have
Is to
fun.
have fun,
Yeah.
right.
That line just flew under my radar completely. Like,
I mean,
it didn't even was unnoted.
It could be also that you're relating with the idea that kids do say those things.
Yeah.
That's
you know.
what I
Yeah,
mean.
that
So
is
it didn't
true.
stand out
But-
to me. I was just like, okay.
But if that's what the movie believed, then I think
Yeah.
then the mom wouldn't have reacted the way she
Yeah,
did.
no, I don't. I think you're reading too much into how a true kid might or might not develop or grow, because we're missing character development in general. Like, there's just not
Maybe.
enough being told us
Yeah,
here
that's also
about
true.
No, see, that's-
where we're
but
supposed to believe.
That's giving it too much credit, though. I would say, because it
Giving
is. It's
wait,
because
giving it
I'm
credit
taking
for
credit
not,
away.
no,
for
no,
not
no.
doing character development.
Yeah,
I'm taking credit away,
I know.
not giving them credit.
So you're saying it was their fault, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that they
They should have done more
that her
character
character was
development.
very weak, because they did a poor job of establishing what her real motivations were, and what sort of the rules of her relationship with her dad are. I mean, these are complex things that you can't just assume, and because there's
Right.
nothing
Well,
there, we're all assuming different
No.
things.
I would say the reason why I would disagree is because I'm saying that I think they gave us a character and they gave us the motivation for that character, and those things don't agree.
I think there was not nearly enough motivation on the table. Like, it just felt like we just didn't know her. That's what I felt. We just never got to know her.
I felt like we were supposed to know her, not that we just didn't know enough.
Well, they failed.
They certainly did.
one way or another they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
The line where towards the end, when I think Rabbit or something is like, Christopher Robin's like, oh, she works. My daughter works a lot, and then Rabbit's like,
it
oh,
was,
Rude.
Kanga says, "Oh, the poor dear."
Yeah, oh dear, poor soul. It's like, oh,
Well, because again, they're kids, and
Yeah.
so to a kid, often work is described as the opposite of play.
yeah,
It's like, oh, I can't play, I have to work. So work is therefore the opposite of play.
yeah.
And so if you say,
Right.
oh, those guys all speak in kid language.
My daughter's important to me. Well, where is she?
Wrecked.
Wrecked.
Wrecked. I loved the look of this whole movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
Oh, so I.
looking at it with my eyes.
Yeah, it was enjoyable to look at.
Yes.
The reason why I would describe it as 2012 film student
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
is because when the whole 7D, so the 7D was introduced.
Yeah, and people got in
2000
love with Shallow Depths of Field.
Yeah, 2010.
Like going across
Fields.
those purple flowers all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah. So when that
Golden
came
Hour
out,
Field, Shallow
exactly.
Depth
So
of
when the
Field,
whole prosumer line comes out with these giant sensors and DSLRs are filming now,
Yeah.
it's exactly that. Only Shallow Depth of Field.
Doesn't mean it's not enjoyable to look at, though.
It bothered me quite a
So
bit
very pretty.
because
I loved it so
there was
much.
there was
Say
B-roll.
again. Say it again. One more
Yeah,
time.
so no, say it
One
more.
more time.
Really, really beautiful.
Okay.
You know what? I agree.
Oh, cool.
I knew he'd crack.
Yeah.
I knew he'd crack.
The B-roll shots annoyed me because they're beautiful shot, and then B-roll, and then the B-roll was like focusing on one thing on the left, and then rack focus because we can rack focus, and
It's like Zack Snyder directed the B-roll.
that's right. That's exactly what it was like. That's exactly it. So that annoyed me. But other than that, the framing was great. Like the person knew exactly what they were doing. So
Let's go to the beach with some like long straw grass at 6 p.m. and shoot at 1.8,
right
and then
Yeah.
we'll do that for everything.
for everything.
I think that's all motivated by, again, this idea of playing it safe. It's like, we're gonna make everything in this just like a welcoming walk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt welcoming.
You know what's funny is from the trailer, I thought it would be I thought it was going to be less not less kid friendly in terms of like content, but less comedic,
I think more adult friendly. is
more
what you-
Yeah.
serious.
I was
Yeah, I thought
expecting
so
a
too.
little more conflict.
yeah, I
Yeah.
thought there would be
But,
more
you know,
drama.
And you would expect that to come from the company and from his relationship with his wife. The relationship with his wife got mended almost immediately.
Yeah,
Pretty
Yeah, that was interesting.
Like, it's just like, we're back. We're good.
we were-
good now.
Yeah, we were good
I
now.
kind of felt like they like when I was leaving the theater, like I guess they were good, but I felt like there was unresolved business
See,
that they had to attend to that they never did
This takes us back to Disney,
They have
like
time
as a
for that.
company.
for the sequel.
They have time for that.
When like I whenever I leave any Disney movie, I leave not ever thinking those events happened, because they always felt like they were telling me from a storybook, and that these characters are ideas of characters and they're never real, and that's what
Yeah.
all Disney movies feel like
Yeah,
to me.
well, they're built on the ideal of the storybook.
Sure.
That is who they are.
Sure, and that very much comes across in their movies, and that's
Yeah.
something that is hard to play along with when you're looking for something to relate with, you know. Instead, all these stories become like parables as opposed to cautionary tales or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a taste thing.
Yeah.
A taste thing
To
because
like the storybooks as an aesthetic, you know.
well, because I think a lot of people do relate to that. I mean, there's a reason why for
I guess
hundreds of years
relate-
people teach through parables and fairy tales.
well, sure, but I guess relate is the wrong term then that I'm using then. Like I don't know, like Elf, I felt like was a superior movie to this, you know.
Elf is a better movie than this.
Yeah.
It's a very different thing they're trying to do, though.
I don't think so.
'Cause Elf literally comes from like there's like story pages and stuff.
Well, like
going
yeah,
through
there's
it.
a strong
You have a character
storybook
coming
aesthetic,
from another side of from another world into
Yeah.
the real world, and I get all that, but
and it's a family, you know, thing
that's true.
where
This,
a
I guess,
guy
this is
is-
Elf.
where a
Now that
guy
I
is-
think about it. It's about reconnecting to your childhood and everything.
Yeah, and
is Elf.
and I think Elf did it so much better, not just in the direction, but just because
Yeah.
we see characters and we see how they evolve as characters, and
Yeah.
not hey, this is a thing, you know, it's not a storybook.
Like when the dad is wearing the Santa garb and he's caroling, and then he at the end of the movie, and then he becomes like the loudest caroler at the end.
Yeah.
Like, but like you would never imagine him doing something like that at the beginning of the movie.
Right, but you can believe it at that point.
Yeah.
is what I mean. Yeah.
So that's weird, because I agree that Elf is a better movie than this,
Yeah.
but I don't like Elf very much.
I love that
Did you
movie.
like this movie?
And I kind of like this movie.
So that would be a taste thing.
That's clearly
Yeah,
a taste
taste.
thing. It's
Yeah.
clearly a taste thing.
I love Elf.
It's because of my affinity for Winnie the Pooh and my sort of like non-affinity for Will Ferrell.
See,
Yeah.
and I really don't like Will Ferrell
I
either,
don't like Will
but I
Ferrell.
love that movie.
Yeah.
I never
Elf.
really liked Elf that much.
Yeah, I don't really like Will Ferrell that much either. but I
It
do
has more to
love
do with
Elf.
my dislike of Christmas movies too. There's very few
don't like
Christmas,
Christmas movies
movies
much.
that I enjoy.
I hate Christmas.
I just hate Christmas.
Grinch.
I mean, if we're here to talk about
Holidays.
tastes, then I just didn't want to see this movie in the first place.
None of us actually, really, none of us wanted to see this.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I would have normally watched in 8 months on Netflix,
Yeah.
on a couch with my wife sometime, and we would have 7 interruptions from our kids, and we would have just been like, nice. you
Right,
know?
right.
It's a perfect fit for that kind of thing, really. But for getting up and going to the cinema to have a movie experience, not what I'd like to do.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, I like a lot of Mad Max Fury Road movies.
Yes.
I like action-oriented stuff. Yeah. If we're talking about tastes.
We're talking about taste?
If we're talking about
Okay.
tastes. And then you
What do I like?
like anything that has to do with getting raped in the brain.
Uh-huh.
Brain rape.
Brain rape.
Okay.
I have wide taste, actually.
No.
Yes.
I don't feel like I have a specific flavor that I could narrow down quickly. I like Thai food. Eating it.
Interesting.
I'm not
Yeah.
a fan.
Yeah. Thai food.
Not a fan of Thai food.
Fine. We don't have to agree.
kind
We
of-
disagree.
What kind of Thai food is this movie?
It's not Thai food at all. Actually, you can't do that.
What kind of pizza is this
Nope.
movie?
This pizza is the number 2.
The number 2 with cheese.
No, that's what it is. Like, can I get a number 2? That's what this movie is.
Because it's assembled.
Because you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's nothing different. You always order the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't number 2.
Yeah, to me, it's like you go to like a kid's birthday party and they've ordered Domino's, like not Domino's. What's the other one? Round Table. The one with $5 pizzas.
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars.
That's the one they always do. There's 10 boxes of Little Caesars, and they're like, "Come on in, it's a pizza party." And you know in your mind intellectually that if you're going to have a pizza party, it's going to be you're going to get good pizza for your pizza party. But this is a kid's pizza party. It's going to be...
It's just pizza.
It's going to be Little Caesars. Of course it is. And you're probably not even hungry. That's what kind of pizza it is.
I like that, yeah.
That's great, yeah.
I think I've given this rating before, but I don't remember what movie. And this movie is it's a DiGiorno pizza that was cooked already, and you're not getting any of it until it's been sitting out for about 40 minutes. So it's sat out for about 40 minutes. It's not like
It's a room temperature DiGiorno pizza.
Yeah, and it's kind of like good, but it's not like the best. And it's always the same thing.
DiGiorno's the worst.
Yeah,
I like DiGiorno.
I like
No.
DiGiorno, but
DiGiorno frozen pizzas is one thing, but like that crust that you buy in a big plastic bag,
Boboli?
Boboli,
Yeah.
Boboli.
Boboli.
that's terrible.
That's gross.
No one should do that.
No.
That's just wrong.
It's because they sit there in their bags and then they sourdough.
It's like old bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Boboli.
You have no standards.
You have a lot of tastes.
Boboli.
You have very wide tastes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go eat a pizza bagel, man.
Ooh, I like pizza pizzas, actually.
All right, how about the English muffin pizza
There you go. Yeah.
with ketchup?
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Ketchup and a Kraft single.
Did we give a movie rating like that one?
I don't know.
That's a bad one. That is a
Piece
bad
of
one.
toast with ketchup and a Kraft single, not heated.
Not heated. That actually sounds better. Not heated.
Like microwave for 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Microwave for 30 seconds and then dipped in water.
Oh,
What movie is that? Oh.
that's disgusting.
That was.
That's Battlefield Earth.
I was gonna say
What's the safest pizza ever?
safest pizza.
Yeah, that's Disney as a company.
I don't know. Disney made Pirates of the Caribbean.
That wasn't a safe movie, though. That was a risk.
The first one, yeah.
No, we're trying to think of the safest pizza.
I know. I'm just saying that you're being a little hard on Disney. Little rough.
I'm being hard on Disney.
Yeah, you are. I think they need some support.
Yeah, I think
Someone needs to stand up and defend Disney.
I think Disney.
That's
can
true.
Take it.
Yeah, Disney can't defend
Don't
itself.
bully Disney now.
No, yeah.
They
Sorry.
pick on the little guys. He's just a mouse. He's just a mouse. Back off, D. Back off.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Disney bully,
Back
aren't I?
off.
Step off.
Step off.
Step off.
How much is Disney worth?
Trillion.
No, that's Apple.
Oh yeah.
Apple's first
trillion.
business to pass $1 trillion value. Just happened.
I'm guessing Disney is right under Apple.
No, they're not nearly that big.
No, yeah, Disney's not big at all. No, it's terrible.
Not nearly that big. Jeez.
What if Apple made movies?
They're
Aren't
going
they?
to.
Yeah.
They're starting.
What if they had like really, really safe movies?
I have nothing to say
Disney.
about that.
You like Marvel? That's right. I forgot about that. You're a big Marvel fan.
I'm a Marvel fanboy. I love Marvel. It's like, man, I can't wait to see what they're gonna do this time.
So,
Man, I can't wait to see what are they gonna do this time. There's gonna be a blue laser in the sky.
so today is Monday,
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's not.
as every viewer knows who's
not
watching this right
Monday.
now. Every viewer
It's
who's watching this right now.
Friday.
It's Monday.
Okay, sure.
On Thursday, we're gonna have another short film roundup.
Yeah, every time.
That's right.
Every Thursday it happens.
Every Thursday.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting.
Did you know that you could go to
A
our
meager-
subreddit? Did you know we have a subreddit?
You don't
A
want to give
meager
that stuff
$90
away.
billion is the answer.
Oh, that is me.
That's not even a tenth of Apple.
I'm sorry. I'll back off.
Puny.
I didn't
Back
realize how
off!
small they were.
Yeah, 90 billion.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
It's pathetic.
Not even 100.
It's nothing.
Not even 100.
They haven't even cracked the 100 billion mark yet.
Yeah.
Now, as you're saying something about Reddit, what was that?
We have a subreddit, I believe.
Well, we don't
called,
want to really give that out, though.
r/Carmen Line Studios. I just gave it out.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and so what people do there is they submit their short films to us
So that we can review them here on the Talkies.
and give them the same thing that we just did here.
Yeah, we are
We'll just make fun of it.
total jerks. Brutally honest. Vicious.
Sure.
Violent.
Violent.
Violet.
Anyway, submit your short films, and we'd be happy to talk about them here on our short film roundup every week.
On Thursday, because today's Monday.
It's Friday.
All right, this is about the energy level that we can muster after a movie like Winnie the Pooh. So I
me
think
hyped.
we should probably just call it. I think we're done.
We did the pizzas.
We're done.
We did our
So
plugs.
we're done here.
It's over.
So thank you for watching once again. Until next time, everybody raise the roof.
He's Kenny.
That guy's Taylor.
And we'll see you next time.
On the talkie.
I'm D, by the way.
Yeah, you use me. Yeah, I like that. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, man.